Like, Tenacity's kind of the bad boy.
Yeah.
I'm like the good boy. That's the only thing I know.
Hey everyone, after their victory over Dignitas, I'm joined by the newest support of 100 Thieves. It's Busio. Welcome, man. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
You got to talk on stage with Sven a little bit about the state of bot lane, but I wanted to dive into it a little bit. You were like, check my solo queue games. I got some tech in there. Why are you looking for unique things rather than kind of perfecting what's already known so far?
I think playing a variety is really good because you learn things playing different kinds of champions that apply to the meta.
Right.
I mean, like, we can talk about support champs, but just something, for example, is I had like a week where I just played a bunch of Gangplank top on like one of my high elo accounts, like literally just like first time, and then I just spammed it. So like I lost a bunch of LP, but it was fun. I'm learning different concepts, and the biggest like takeaway is you don't really know what it's going to be beforehand, but I learned how futures market really works. So now I take it on a lot of supports that don't need biscuits, and I just get my mythic item one round faster than other supports, and that's like a huge advantage in the game. But I feel like a lot of people don't actually know how futures market works. So it's just like a super unrelated learning from the support role playing Gangplank, but it actually helps the game a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, just playing a variety gives you an overall better understanding of the game.
I can just feel somewhere in Korea that LS was just like, this is a disciple right here, right? Play something different, and here's why. That was a trick question. I needed you to answer it that way, so good job, way to go. Early season test passed. But yeah, like, so, and thank you for the example too, futures market specifically on how that can help, because, you know, biscuits are for sinners. When it comes to the double AD now bot lanes, why is that all of a sudden popping up way more? And do you feel like it's still strong? You know, Infinity Edge now is cheaper to buy. Like, will support start buying that? Well, what's the case here?
Well, I think with that, it's like bot lane, when you're already locking in like a ranged matchup, the best counter to that is either play a super high execution, jungle reliant gank setup bot lane, or you just play for push. And playing for push is more recreatable, more reliable. So that's why when people start playing Zeri Lulu or Heimerdinger, then you just take it one step further and lock in an ADC and guarantee push, and then the enemy win condition is kind of neutralized. And these ADCs don't scale great, but you can go Umbral Glaive, you get a big advantage early game, and it's more like you're neutralizing the enemy support, so it's fine that you're not that useful. But I don't think it's always the answer, because like if the enemy bot lane can figure out a way to like go even in lane, your champ is not that strong.
For sure. Yeah. Thank you again for breaking it down, just because I am an AD carry player, and this is such a fun meta for me to just, you know, learn, and you know, I have to be more patient now with supports that lock that in. I'm like, okay, most of the time this is troll. Not the case anymore, because the pros are doing it, so I gotta follow what the pros are doing. Speaking of pros, right? This is your first full time over on the roster with this starting spot, with this legendary, 15 championships between them or something like that?
Something like that.
With the old guys. And how do you fit into that? Do they, and what was a thing that you thought, hey, I'm not gonna be able to do this, but it's actually like this?
I actually have like a good amount of input in the game, but I didn't really expect it to not be that way, because everyone has their responsibilities and roles, and like League of Legends macro, or just like making plans, isn't really that complicated. You just need to understand it, and if somebody's fighting or somebody's doing something, then somebody can say something. It's usually obvious, but it needs to be said, because you want everyone on the same page. So it's not like Bjergsen and Doublelift are the only ones making plans. It's just kind of like a mix of everyone. So yeah.
They're a great example of that for you guys at home. The Herald setup. I think Peter pushed the bottom lane, and then it forced Spawn to go bot. He went mid, and then all of a sudden it's a 5v4 Dignitas had to pull off. Like, that looked like very clear, very cohesive, and those types of things have started to show up. Where do you feel like you're teaching them? Are there points where you're like, oh, well, my view of the game is this way? Is there an example that you have?
Well, recently I was telling Peter, Doublelift, how Ignite can be a defensive sum, because we were playing some matchups, and like in bot lane, how I think about a lot of matchups is the burst side of the matchup and the consistent damage side of the matchup. So like if you're the burst side of the matchup, Ignite is a defensive sum because you need to burst them fast, or at least have the pressure of that so they can't continue fighting you. But like, of course you can know that, but it's just like we think differently.
Yeah.
But it's not like I'm a newer player, so I think differently. It's just like different players just think differently. So yeah, I also taught them all how futures market works in Korea. They just did not understand. It was the funniest thing. We were just having a discussion about runes, and they thought you were just like losing gold every time you used it.
What?
And then I had to explain to them. I whipped out the Microsoft Paint. I drew them the gold chart.
All right.
And I was explaining to them how your pockets get deeper.
You know what it is?
So it's
hey, old
more
guys,
gold.
let me put it in paint for you guys.
Yeah, I'll break it down, guys. Listen to me.
That's awesome.
That was pretty funny, yeah.
It is cool to hear this has to be the largest age gap in the LCS in terms of partnerships, how your views of the game are respected and pushed forward, and you know, even though, as you said in the Drive episode that the LCS made, you should go watch that. You know, you were watching it back in season 3, season 4, around then. In your wildest dreams, did you ever imagine being like, this is my roster that I get my first full season with? Like you and Tenacity, okay, you're the young guns. Closer, okay, he's the guy that we're building around, but then the two guys that slot in are, you know, big personalities.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy because like Doublelift was retired, so I would not imagine this is the roster I'd be on.
Yeah.
Also, like, of course, growing up, like Bjergsen was always on TSM, and then just recently he's been on other teams. So this is not a roster I could have predicted.
Yeah. I guess last question here, and this is just a hypothetical. We'll take out Doublelift here so we don't hurt any feelings. If you got to play with any AD carry of any time, who would it be?
Any region?
Yeah, any region, any AD carry of any, I guess, time period. And kind of give the time period.
I don't know the history that well, but I mean, Uzi's like one of the best.
Yeah.
I don't even know a time period. Like my timeline is so bad.
You could have picked any time period.
Okay.
Yeah, that works.
Ruler seems pretty chill. Viper right now seems pretty chill.
Viper seems pretty chill. Well, that team has to get it together, but yeah.
There's a lot of insane ADCs.
Yeah. Well, cool, man. Again, student of the game, looking globally at other partners that you could be partnering with. And I think that kind of mindset and hearing these little anecdotes that you have bodes well for your future. So congrats on the win, and thanks for the interview, brother.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Where can people find you on socials and all that good stuff?
Twitter at Busio or Busio lol. No, Twitter's Busio, Twitch is Busio lol. I stream sometimes, and TikTok is Busio as well.
There it is, the Busio. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe for more League of Legends content. All right, man. That was easy. That's such a funny story, too.
Which one? The Futures Market?
Futures Market.
Yeah, it was.